Okay. Guess who's back? Ask Me Anything, episode 235. It is 4 p.m. in Belgium on a very beautiful fall Saturday. Um, I've got a really good night lined up, but before I commence the festivities, I figured I would jump on here, talk to my tribe, see what's good. Hope all are, hope all of you are having an amazing weekend. What's up, Elizabeth? How's Greece going? How's it going over there? I went through an epic hike in nature this morning. I know I repeat myself over and over, but I cannot recommend you guys enough the healing power of nature. The weather is getting very cold. I was in the city yesterday and I enjoy the city. I really do. But then I also enjoy getting out and I enjoy waking up outside of the city, if that makes sense. It's always a great feeling to just, I don't know, man, be in the woods, especially this time of year. The fog, it's magical. How's my audio? Is it coming through clear? Please let me know. Also, shout out to my latest clients. Been having quite a few new clients sign up to the coaching program. So very excited about that. Looking at the total number of clients that I have now, I never could have imagined a couple of years ago that it would be going so well and that I would be doing this. So shout out to you guys for trusting me to help you take control of your life, to help you reinvent yourself. It is an absolute pleasure, time and time again. I really can't stress that enough. And I just realized I think I lost my braces. Wait. Oh no. No, I got them. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're all good. If you're wondering, by the way, what that is over my shoulder, that is the corner where I go to die in the evening. Meaning that I literally make a nest and then I just crash in there with my laptop on my lap. And that is most of the evenings here. Hello, my dear friend. How are you? Can I ask you when is your birthday? I'm good. My birthday is May 6th. Taurus gang. By the way, last night I had dinner with Katya, my ex. You guys remember Katya? Um, she told me to tell you guys hi. I just had to think of that because she was talking about how her birthday is in February and she doesn't like that because it's not like it's a little bit of a shitty month. And then I was like, yeah, I know. My birthday is in May. Best month to have a birthday. Did anybody else indulge in some Black Friday shopping? Because I surely did. Um, I indulged in a little bit of clothing, a couple of pants, a sweater, basketball jersey, some shoes, and then a bunch of nootropics. I stocked up on Tonkat Ali, which has proven to be very beneficial for me. Also, the sleep formula from Nootropics Depot, which combines magnolia bark with lemon balm and some other really good nootropics to help you sleep. And I actually spent more money than I was planning on doing, but it is what it is. Also got a bunch of vegan protein powder, Emotionless artist. Good morning. My girlfriend said I came home from the gym in a bad mood, and she hit me. She threw. She hit me. Man, what is this? She hit me. Threw coffee on top of my head. It's getting worse. The only thing I bought was seeds to resell for double and supplements. You mean wheat seeds? I mean, then as it pertains to your girlfriend, we've been over this, and I can't continue to have every life revolved around that because I have already, told you. Yeah, of course it's getting worse, man. It's gonna keep getting worse. You're living with a psycho, but for whatever reason, you're so dead set. Like you have a terrible plan. We've been over this. You're paying off a house that's in her name. You seem to have this illusion that you think you're gonna swindle her into putting the house in your name. She's never gonna do that. Like not in a million fucking years. So I guess you need to basically have a near death experience before you realize that you need to cut your losses and just get the fuck out and stop putting up with the abuse, Like at this point being homeless is better, and you told me you had proof of the abuse, so you can literally just get a lawyer or go to police. Like I told you what to do, man. It's not gonna change. Georgia of Gurry, can I ask you how can I help my child have more self confidence? Um, I would, if it was my child, I would make it do sports. Make it comfortable with having physical contact. Like there's kids like they're not even comfortable touching another kid. Like like a contact sport. I would make my kid play basketball or something like that, where they need to get like or even like martial arts. I think martial arts is a great way to also get confidence. But aside from that, I think you need to really just instill into your child that all the other people are also just kind of faking confidence, that they're not as confident as they seem. I would kind of try and explain the dynamics of society and to not take everything at face value, if that makes sense. Basically, I would just talk to the kid a lot about life, about people, about how things work. And if it's smart enough, then it should figure out there's really never any need to feel, you know, unconfident at all. It's like we're surrounded by incompetent, not so bright people. That's just the reality of the situation. Look at what the popular movies and music are. Look at what the popular food chains are. That is a pretty clear indication that the majority of people in this world are pretty fucking stupid and don't really know what's good. Have you ever taken antidepressants? No, no, no. I don't need antidepressants. No, no. I did try a nootropic called Kistange, Kistange, and it ended up working less than antidepressant, meaning that it ended up basically leveling me out. So I was no longer becoming really excited. Excuse me. And I was no longer getting like down, and I was like, oh, this is like a natural antidepressant. I don't need this, so I got off of it. What's up, Tara? How you doing? Yeah, antidepressants, man, they mess you up. They kill your sex drive. I know people that have been on them. I don't understand how it's so commonly prescribed. Like that should be like the absolute last resort. It's like if you're absolutely suicidal, then like okay, I get it. But most people they're gonna do way more harm than good. It's my humble opinion on that matter. This is your shot, guys. If you are live watching this now, understand that this is live and direct. IFA, what are your thoughts on Ukraine admitting defeat and letting Russia take over this afternoon? I don't think that happened, right? I doubt that happened. Let me check the news real quick. No. That did not seem to have happened, my dear friend. Um, Betsy! Shout out to Betsy, one of my favorite clients. Literally just replied to your text and got a notification you're streaming. Again, sorry for the late reply, then crashing out soon as I finished my extra work. Betsy, you are getting after the bag. You're grinding, you're hustling. I would never hold that against you. I'll read your text later. Don't worry. Hope that you're getting enough sleep, though. First step is to eat more healthy, like 90% clean. Yeah, I agree. Will you do anything special for Christmas? We we basically um, just have like family dinners, and and then we all get together at. We have like an old farm where my dad grew up. He was one of 15 kids, so I have a bunch of siblings, and we all get together. There's more than 100 of us, and then Santa Claus comes, and it's awesome. It is awesome. Ha ha, made you look. Oh man, IFA, you are just hilarious. You got me, man. Giannis, so many bad food that can give you inflammation, bad mental health. Yeah, it's true, Giannis. It's true. That's why, for example, like even me, like I thought I was eating clean, but then I realized I was basically just eating rice and pasta and meat all the time and eggs. So then I realized, okay, I need to, step it up. So what I do now, for example, is I will literally have I have raw broccoli every day that I just put in my smoothie, just to have like a bunch of broccoli in because it's just like a superfood when it comes to vegetables, and it makes up for a lot. Giannis, and I also have blueberries daily. I got avocado daily. Yeah, I healed most of my sickness with very healthy quality food. Yes, like you say, broccoli. Yeah, that helps. Important question. Can I preserve my muscle while losing fat on higher reps, doing one body part a day? No, man, that's a myth. Like, I mean, it's not, well, so the whole, so this whole thing about, higher reps to tone your body, it doesn't work like that. You're better off really just doing low reps and going heavy and just fixing your diet, meaning that eat less, go high protein in your diet, low carb, and just eat a little bit below maintenance. So you're gonna have to calculate your caloric maintenance level and then go beneath that. 12 reps by high reps. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't really. All the people that I know that do 12 reps, they never change. They look exactly the same. Betsy, fully admit I easily fall into the trap of eating rice and eggs. Flexibility of a specific food is a trap. It is true. Yes, I had so much acne every day in many years. hmm Only thing that works for me is I eat a lot of veggies, got no acne or health problems the last 5 6 years. That's awesome, man. Are you finding it easy to put on muscle? Eating all those, like, do you also eat meat, or like where do you get your protein? Thank you so much. I have to go, but it was nice to see you. Have a good one. Have a beautiful weekend. Have a great day. And that goes for all of you guys out there. I think I have about 2, maybe 3 weeks left in this flat, and then it's adios. I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying the last days, but now I'm also getting itchy to, like, I'm like ready for the next step. Yeah. It also doesn't help that there's major construction going outside right on my doorstep, which sucks. I'm sure people can relate who've had that happen. I have trouble losing fat, struggle with it. 179, 76 kg, about 18% body fat. I think you're because you're not getting enough protein, man. Like just eating veggies is probably not gonna cut it if you're not having a supplement like a vegan protein shake, and you're probably not eating enough. Like you're not getting in enough calories. People still think that if you eat less, you're gonna lose fat, but it's not always like that. What you want to do is build more muscle so that you're automatically gonna burn more fat, because that's what muscle does. What foods would you recommend when you're really craving something sweet? Um, like an orange or like a mandarin. Those are super sweet, but they're still like it's still fruit. Blueberries too. Sometimes I really fancy something sweet. Yeah, that's what I had. Like I love like a I love mandarins. You know what that is, right? Like the small oranges. That's what you call it in English. Um, or is that the English? Or is that Chinese language Mandarin? I want to get at 50% body fat after I want to gain 8 kilograms of muscle. I eat a lot of Greek yogurt, need not enough, like you say. What's up, Surya? Um, honestly, man, I think you should like cutting first to 50% body fat and then trying to gain 8 kilograms of muscle is. I don't think that's the right approach. I think you're gonna you're gonna lose a lot of weight and then you're gonna gain it all back probably. And 8 kilograms of muscle, man, that's gonna take you like that takes you like maybe 10 years at least. It's very hard to gain 8 kilograms of muscle naturally. If I were you, I would just start building muscle now, and I think you'll see that your body composition will change on its own. Don't worry so much about the body fat percentage. Just build up the muscle, man. I fell into that trap of trying to be lean for the longest time by dieting and eating clean, but it did not work out well for me. Like I was stagnant for years. Si todavía me llamas como antes. My dream is to get to 80 kilograms muscle mass, but with 15% body fat. Okay, what you mean is you want to be 80 kilograms body weight. There's no such thing as 80 kilograms of muscle. But I get what you're saying. My advice to you, man, would be from someone who's been lifting for 17 years. Um, don't get stuck on numbers. I've known a lot of people that swear by numbers. You know, they're like, like, for example, being 100 kilograms in body weight. For a lot of guys, it's like a thing. It's like, I need to be 220 pounds. But it's like, no, you don't. You know, like, everybody's different. Meaning, not everybody, like everyone. I mean, everybody. You know, so I, when I was at my leanest, people thought I was at my biggest. They thought I was like 220 pounds when actually I was like 185. And then when I gained weight, they thought I lost weight. So numbers, you shouldn't get too caught up on that. Most people stagnation in many years. I see them in the gym every week, look the same after 3 years. See them at the gym every week. My gym is filled with people that haven't changed in like literally 5 years. Literally 5 years. And they come almost every day. I see them all the time, and they haven't changed. It's wild. I see them doing the tricep pull down. Just like same old exercise. What I tend to notice is that a lot of those people they don't take rest in between sets. Like they're doing a whole bunch of reps. They do a bunch of supersets, and they get a good pump. It feels like you're doing something because you're doing a lot of stuff, but then like the pump goes away, and I feel like the tricep pull down with the extension cord is like the ultimate exercise of people who don't really know what they're doing. Not that it's a bad exercise. I'm just saying, like, I feel like that's the favorite exercise of every person that doesn't really know how to seriously like change their body. People love to complicate the gym, man, and fitness and bodybuilding or whatever you want to call it. But like, I didn't start seeing real gains until I really started focusing on the compounds, like incline bench, deadlift, hack squat, pull ups. Everything else is secondary. Betsy, trying to remember what you taught me and looking at labels. It's fats and carbs want to keep low and protein want to keep high. You can fats can be high too, Betsy. So protein preferably high, yes. And then at the fat, you should try to have um, a good amount of non-saturated fats. The saturated fats, you should try to keep that to a minimum. Try to avoid that. But fats, there's nothing wrong with fats. Like for example, an avocado, that's a has a lot of fat in it, but it's good fat. Like also fish oil, like fish in general, as it's a fatty fish, but it's good. It's fine. You need that. Do you have a book recommendations list, Goodreads profile? I do not have a Goodreads profile. I can tell you the books that I enjoyed, like just in general. I'll type them in the box right now. Just like this is like a bunch of random books. Fools Die by Mario Puzo. That's a novel. Stoner novel. That's also a really good book. Those two books are amazing. I always talk about obviously The Power of Now. If you haven't checked that one out yet, if you wanna read The Power of Now, but it's too complex or too like you know out there, then you might want to start with The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. That's also a great book. Um, what else, man? I've been reading a lot of Star Wars books out of for entertainment purposes. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, I read quite a few good books in my life. It's just hard to always on the spot pull them up. Mm, yeah, but like those two books, Fools Die and Stoner, I think they're amazing. Betsy, gotcha. Always get them confused. They sell health drinks at work and picked them up out of curiosity. Good. Can you talk about less talked about fitness parameters like joint strength, breathing? Sure. Like, I mean, in terms of joint strength, I always, recommend omega-3. Everybody should take omega-3 fish oil supplement. Magnesium. Everybody should take a magnesium supplement, and a lot of people don't. Everybody should take vitamin D. That's going to help a lot with joint strength. Also, every now and then you got to run. You got to run at least once a week, even if it's a short run. You got to stay mobile, and make sure you don't just become like a big um, body that can't move. What are the things that help you the most when you're in absolutely desperate situations? Hmm. I guess I tell myself this is all part of the movie. I like to sometimes look at my life as a movie. I know that sounds douchey, but I mean it more in the sense of like this is it. Like life is what it is, and we try to project our definitions of purpose on it, but really it's just a struggle. Life is the struggle. So whenever something bad happens, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm just basically you know a little hamster floating in on a river, and sometimes the river turns into a waterfall. And we like to have this illusion, especially healthy people. They have this illusion that life is supposed to be stable and that we can control everything. If I study hard, if I work hard, it's like no, like you can do everything right and still have a fucked up life, and or still have things happen to you out of your control. You get sick, you pick a psycho partner. I've seen it all. And I try to always like remember that perspective. So when I'm in a desperate situation, I'm like, oh, this is that's right. Like I can control this. Like these things can still happen. And then I kind of remind myself that my only real job is to make it to the next day, is to survive. And I really bring it back to the baseline. Does that make sense? I'm trying to get rid of learned helplessness. Can you elaborate on that? Learned helplessness. I like Naval Ravikant's advice: read what you love until you love reading. That's what I'm saying. I've been reading these, guys. I've been reading these, Star Wars books. Naval Ravikant is on the motherfucking money. He is right. Um, it's good that you say that. I gotta. Thank you for reminding me, Surya, because one of my clients asked for a podcast recommendation, and I just remembered now that's one of the best ones. Naval's podcast with Joe Rogan is amazing. Um, um, Then, so I could not read live questions of your live sessions with the black jacket. Usually, when you upload after live, I could simultaneously read questions. Not bad, man. Maybe I messed that up. I love the Star Wars series. Me too. Crazy, so smart Naval is. Yeah, Naval. I mean, some of the things he says is also a little bit, but no, he's a great thinker. He's one of the great thinkers of our um, modern age. Definitely. All right, guys. Also, don't forget to hit the thumb if you haven't done that yet. I would greatly appreciate it. And I also want to remind you guys that I'm still taking on new clients, still on the grind, hustling hard. So if you're trying to work with me, it is lorenz.dries at gmail.com. Gotta head off now. Mama wants to help cooking homemade chili con carne. We'll catch you later. Have a good one, Betsy. So good to hear from you. I'll reply to you later through text. Have a beautiful weekend. Tarzan. To elaborate, I've been in many situations where I tried my absolute best, still failed on extremely important matters, like you said. But I mean, I never really understood that. The whole thing about if you can sit there and say that you did your best, and I believe you, um, but then why are you upset? Like what is there to feel sad about? I truly don't understand that. Because in no scenario were you ever going to succeed because your best wasn't good enough. And that's fine. That's okay. That happens all the time. So, like, what really hurts is if you know that you didn't give it your all when you didn't do your best. That one stings when you know you had more in the tank. Try imagine how much humans have struggled back in time. Think about that. Think about when fire was invented. Think about how many people were put on fire or like thrown in the fire. Think about how many houses or like huts were burned down before people figured out like, oh, we shouldn't do that. Like it's not like people immediately understood the concept of fire and its properties. It's like, so many people must have been scarred and just, died a horrible death by fire. Tarzan. I don't feel sad. I just feel zero control in the universe. But there is no control. And why do you want control? That's the question you should ask yourself. Why are you trying to control the uncontrollable? I feel like my actions don't matter at all. It sounds irrational to act. It led me to depression. But your actions do matter in your direct environment. You can influence your direct environment. You can influence, for example, your body. Hence me loving the motherfucking gym. I love the gym because I feel like lifting weights is one of the few things that actually makes sense. Because I can actually control this body. I can control the size of my muscles and the way I look. I can control my strength. If I just put in the work, which is really easy to do, it's going to change. My body's going to evolve. And then if you keep doing that, you can go from skinny to being looking like a superhero. So that's like one of the few things where your action, pays direct dividends. And then you can take that physique with you and like it's basically a resume that you carry on your on the exterior. Everybody who sees you, they don't even have to know you to see like that person is disciplined, that person can put in the work. So I agree with you, most things don't matter, like spending a whole Saturday night talking about nothing and just being like drunk is a waste of fucking time. But and that's why that's what people I guess don't get about the gym. They go to the gym because they want to look bigger and better so they can attract people in I guess in the bar or have get a partner. But it's like no, that's the part that doesn't matter. Does that make sense? I've been lifting weights for more than 10 years. I see 50-year-olds lifting more than me. But then Tarzan, you're not lifting correct. You're not applying progressive overload. You're not eating enough. So that's on you. You got to take responsibility for that. It's pretty I'm very knowledgeable on bodybuilding too. I'm up to date with all the scientific literature and anecdotes. But how can you be knowledgeable on bodybuilding if you've been lifting for 10 years and teenagers outlift you? It doesn't sound like you are, man. hate to break it to you, but if you just literally put in the basic work and eat enough, like you're gonna get stronger and grow. There's no way a 15-year-old can outlift you. Doesn't make any sense. Like you're doing something wrong. I think you need to reevaluate your stance and be self-critical. See, man, that's what I'm talking about. Respect for you for taking a strong stand against men going their own way, and like elements, you filter your followers with those videos. Yeah, that's true. I lost a lot of followers actually, like like by going against them. But I don't care. I know, and I've never been one to really if I lost tens and thousands of subscribers with some videos. 1 second. Black Friday. All right, sorry guys. Tarzan. That's what I'm talking about. That's just moral bias. You assume then you've done some things wrong. People are so quick to blame even the wisest. I'm not assuming, man. I'm not assuming. You are simply, if you're telling me you're up to date with all the science on fitness, if you're telling me you understand the principle of progressive overload and you've been practicing that, and then you see, and you've been doing that for 10 years, and you're a fully, like, you're not disabled, right? And you have the normal level of testosterone, like, you're just like a normal guy, and you see 15-year-olds lifting more weight than you after 10 years, then you do not understand the principle. You have not practiced the principle because there's no way. Like it's science. It's not about. It's not my opinion. If you pick up a weight 10 times, and then after a month and a half, you pick up that weight plus then some 10 times. Guess what? You got stronger. And if you keep doing that, you keep following that pyramid. At some point, you're gonna be a lot stronger. And so look up the studies Greg Nuckols recently talked about. I mean, sure. What does Greg Nuckols say? Can you give me a ton of studies show non-responders? So you're saying me that there's a study that says that people who do everything right, some people don't respond to weight training at all. I mean, okay, man. I'll put in Greg Nuckols. I'll check it out later. Greg Nuckols. Well, the first thing that comes up is that he's a drug-free powerlifter, and he so that stronger by science. Some people gain 3 times more muscle than average. Some people even lose muscle after being trained for 12 weeks. I don't really see how that's possible, man. How can you train for 12 weeks and lose muscle and you're eating properly? And those studies, are they following the person back into their home? Do they see them eating the food? Because I know a bunch of people that say they eat X amount of protein, but then really they don't. I also like, come on, guys, how many? That's like the fat people that say like, I barely eat, and it's like, really, you know, link me the studies, man. Have you tried a personal trainer, Tarzan? So many scammers in that niche, Tarzan. So many scammers in that niche. I've literally never, ever, ever heard anyone talk about what you're talking about now, man. So I'm very skeptical. Yes, how much grams of protein do you eat every day, Tarzan? Please answer that question. I'm very curious as to hear that as well. Sure, people have bad genetics, but negative muscle, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like how like I've been listening to I've been consuming fitness content for 2 decades. I've, like the most skeptical channels, the most like underground, the most mainstream, whatever, ever. I have never, ever heard of anyone losing muscle when they're like. Of course, there's people who have like there's like a 0.5 percentage of people who have low testosterone or stuff like that, but uh, ordinary Indians assume white tourists visiting India are super rich. What is the reality? How economically stressful is it to visit third world countries? Is it cheap? I mean, yes, it's cheap if you're European. Biggest gains I ever had, or when I upped protein take, was super stagnant without it. Yeah, but that's something that most people don't get. You're not gonna grow if you don't take enough protein and calories. Magnesium, zinc, vitamin D. You're lifting. Yep, exactly. All right, guys. 36 minutes in. I think that's about enough for today, and I don't feel like we're going anywhere fast. Tarzan. Okay, that's is that a YouTube link? What's up, Orlando? I appreciate you, buddy. It's in this video, and the citations are in the description. Um, how do I like YouTube? Uh, 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 uh. I'm trying to. Okay. Yeah, the link that doesn't work, man. I can't see anything. I tried. I tried to replace it. When people blame me for my results, it really feels like you're being blamed because of getting cancer. How would you feel if people blamed you for that? F- you're asking the wrong person because I'm not that invested in what people blame. Like, I don't really care, to be honest with you. I would just kind of like be like, okay, that's your opinion then. Um, but my question, like, Tarzan, how's your protein intake around 1 grams a time? Tarzan, can you link me the video again because the link, like what you gave me, didn't work at all. How long have you been working out? 16, 17 years, something like that. You wouldn't feel it's there though. No, of course not. But I mean, and start the record then. The thing you gave me doesn't work, so I don't have any video or nothing to read. And I googled Greg Knuckles, and all I got is like his Instagram, and like I don't see anything about what you're talking about. Greg Knuckles, non-responder. I'm googling Greg Knuckles non-responder. What we know about non-responders. Okay, so the first thing I'm reading, blah, 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 non-responders. Uh, So what I'm reading is that there are in fact non-responders. It's just that they are extremely, extremely rare. So you're like, okay, man, you're basically, but I don't. This is so annoying because you're trying to make a point. Okay, so you basically, literally, you have a condition that's like 0.0001% of the society, and then you're like, I don't gain muscle. And then, of course, because like the extreme vast majority of people that don't gain muscle is because they're not doing it right. And now you're gonna call me dismissive because yeah, you're literally like you're the unicorn. So okay, then you are not a responder then, and you don't gain muscle. Okay, I believe you. You're right, but I don't see the point in this whole interaction. Like I don't understand. Like of course my immediate reaction is gonna be that is the correct reaction and like conclusion in basically all the cases in the world. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't make sense to be like because and obviously it's almost like you're setting up the trap because you know you have this like super rare condition that's not even like ever talked about. I've spent like I've been into bodybuilding or gym stuff for 2 decades, never heard about this. So it's like, what can I say, man? Jason Murphy, despite your face, you have a charming personality, accent, and great diet from the gym. How difficult is it to find a woman to date? Uh, women in general, not difficult. Um, women that I like, I've always been quite picky with women, so that's on me. That's not on the women. If I wanted to, I could have a girlfriend today, obviously, but it wouldn't be the girlfriend that I want. Um, I'm a picky person in general in life, um, with everything. So I don't really, yeah. How difficult is it? It's not difficult. Yeah, I don't think it's difficult. Um, but just me myself, I'm not really I'm not really looking just to have a girlfriend. It has to be what I want, or I'd rather just not have a girlfriend at all. That's how I feel. I'm so tired of living in a building where your neighbors are right next to you. I can hear them all day. I picked a lot I should not have. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's most men in their at a young age. To be fair, like when you're in your 20s, I think a lot of us guys, we just think that the meaning of life is just to try and get as many girls as possible or just have the girl. But and then you get older and you know what's crazy? Like some people when they talk so fucking loud, I'm telling you, man, like it's crazy. It's like they're just talking and I can hear them all the time because for them that's like their normal way of communicating, but I hear them all the time. Because people talk like this and they think it's normal. It's like, fuck. Yeah. And then you guys ask me why I don't want to move back to the city. Oh man. Most young men only think about finding a beautiful woman. Yeah. All right, guys, let's get some interesting topics going. I want to talk about something interesting. Give me a good question. Give me something enticing. Weird. I live in the center of the capital. I can't hear any voice from the neighbors here. Yeah, and I live in an apartment building in like a very small town village, almost like basically countryside. But it depends on the people. It depends on the neighbors. Mine talk very loud, very often. What do you do for fun? Thank you, Laura. That's a good question. I appreciate you. Um, I go hiking a lot in nature. I love spending time in nature. Um, Going to the gym, basketball, playing basketball, watching basketball, talking with people, talking with good friends, and just having interesting conversations. Traveling. I guess that's not really like what you do for fun. It's like, oh, I jump on my jet and go to travel, like, you know. But I like certain forums. I like to read. I like to play pool. Um, Live shows, music. I think that's about it. Go out to eat, restaurants, that type of stuff. Favorite place you've been to? Um, San Francisco was special to me. It was really special. Um, Cartagena in Colombia was also pretty cool. Um, Barcelona, I've always loved Barcelona. Do you watch a lot of TV series? The only show I'm watching is Andor. It's a Star Wars show, and I think it's just mind-blowingly amazing. Do you prefer fiction or nonfiction? Both. Both. If it's done well, I love it. I had an overthinking problem in my 20s, completely rejected all philosophers, religion. I looked through the lens of nature. I saw all animals live and competing for mating. In the end, life is sex. Kind of is, man. It kind of is. If you look at our culture, the music that we listen to, the movies that we watch, it kind of is. And just the reasoning for us doing the things that we do, a lot of it revolves around finding a mate, making a baby, and then everything that comes with it. And then it's time to die. I also love to go to the restaurant. I loved it more and more when I got older. Yeah. I went to this Indian place yesterday. I had tikka halfrezi. Katya had the lamb, tikka masala, classic stuff. So good. 20-year-old thinking, mm, no, but I think he means when he says life is sex, it's like not the act of having sex and getting laid, more so the the fact that us trying to find a mate or finding a partner basically is behind most of our motivation. Like, like why do you go out? Why do you bother to like go to the gym? Like all those things. Like why do we want to dress to impress? Why do we want to make money? Why do we want to have status? Because then status can be leveraged into, you know, finding a good mate basically. You can definitely break it down like that. And especially now me being 34, it's astounding. Like for the record, I don't look at life like that. Like, and I think that's also, why I'm alone and why I'm happily alone, living on my own accord. But like now being 34, the first question people like women ask me because I'm a heterosexual guy, um, is what do you do? Like so all those things you can say, well, that's my purpose, my profession is my purpose. Most people are not living their purpose. They're doing the job that makes them the most money. Maybe for males, how sad. Um, you think that most females are not obsessed with finding a good partner so they can have babies and they can be secure? You don't think that's the predominant thought of most females out there after a certain age? Once they stop traveling and having fun, you don't think they all want to settle down with a good man that can provide? Good man meaning like status, like he has to have a good job and be able to provide a nice place and stuff like that. Obviously, in accordance with their own income, to give your genes to the next generation. I don't know about that, but yeah. But to say that the general premise of society is not based on basically attracting partners is pretty incorrect. Like that's kind of what makes this whole thing. Nope, there's so much to life. Um, there is and there isn't. Like again, in the end, if you break it down, it comes down to like most people will find that the older they get, the more most things lose value. It's like when you're in your 20s, you think that, like the best way to spend your time is traveling and getting new experiences and trying new things. And then you try a bunch of new things, you visit a bunch of countries, you finally figure out that all countries are kind of the same. They're just a little bit different, different cultures, but everywhere it's buildings and it's people having jobs and having families and people going out to get drunk, and that's kind of what it is. And then you have culture and you have like your local, the way you do things, and it's Cinco de Mayo in Mexico, and then it's in Germany it's Oktoberfest, but it's always coming down to the same thing: a gathering of people, a gathering of a tribe. All let's all get together and dance and have fun. Um, and then it's like, okay, so how do most people end up? Having a family, procreating, having kids. And then once you got kids, it's like that puts so much, like that takes up so much of your time and attention that you no longer have energy or time to take care of all those other things. So happy to be working for Michelin Tire now instead of the dollar store. It felt demoralizing. Good on you, man. That's awesome. That's a great step up. I'm happy for you. It was more like overthinking with cigarettes. I would come up with, oh, I do not know what you mean. Sorry, yeah. That was complicating. If you don't drive and don't own a house in your 30s, good luck finding a girlfriend. Well, I do not own a house, so good luck to me. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah, a lot of women care about that stuff. Not all, but the majority, they do. Laura, males and females, both in the search for sex, I understand, but I don't agree that it's the case for every human. This is kind of like the guy who was on the live earlier. Like, he was talking about um not being able to add muscle in the gym, and I was telling him that that was because he was doing it incorrectly, and then it turns out that he was the 0.0001% of non-responders. So yes, you're right, Laura. There are people who are not in the search for sex, and they exist. I'll give you that. It's absolutely true. However, that is not the backbone of society. That is not the majority of society. What's up, nature lover? You're looking well. Thank you, Crystal. Like a monk. Okay. Yeah, all of that is interesting though. Think about all the priests back in the day. Like people don't like to hear it, but a lot of priests turned out to be gay pedophiles. Like, why do you think they decided to become a priest? Because they figured out at a young age, probably, like, I don't really like women. But back then, it was not done to say that or to come out. So they just devoted their life to Christ. And then we ended up with a bunch of child molesting priests. So it's like, even like in Thailand, there's like a bunch of like Buddhist monks there, but a lot of them are actually ex convicts Because there's this thing where if you get convicted as a criminal in Thailand, if I'm correct, it's hard to reintegrate in society later on. It's hard to find a job, and then a lot of them end up basically just becoming a monk because then they get taken care of in terms of food and shelter. So you have a lot of Buddhist monks, and we look at them like, oh my God, they're a saint. It's like, oh, not really. And I know it sounds negative, but it's not negative. It's just kind of how the world works. That's just kind of how it is. Like at the end of the day, people are trying to survive and they're trying to find ways and be creative to make the best of their situation. It's like that's kind of what it is. Tom, Lorenz, like you, I had a disfigurement on my face. Got any tips for dealing with stairs that getting me down recently? I mean, any tips, man? At some point, you're basically gonna you're gonna have to make a decision for yourself if you're gonna continue to allow people to rob you of your energy. Every time you get mad or upset or sad, like you're basically just handing out energy to, frankly put, less intelligent, non-emotionally intelligent strangers who don't have the morals and values and the self-awareness to understand that they are being very rude and disrespectful by staring at you. So you like understanding the level and the type of people that they are. That should be enough not to care about their stares. Does that make sense? Marcus Aurelius, it never ceases to amaze me how much we care about people's opinions, people that we don't even respect ourselves. um oh, time travel, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Laura, of course, that's why sex is part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Yep, yep. I think we probably agree. Um, that sweater looks really good on you. I think that's the sweater you were wearing in the second video I ever saw you. Yeah, shout out to Kashana, man. We don't talk anymore. We got into a big fight, and then I had to block her. That's, I think, the only person I ever blocked in my life. Um, Yeah, it's too bad. That video is called Meeting Her Parents, right? It was in Sitges in Barcelona. Yeah, it's a shame that didn't work out. I disagree with time travel. I moved back to the country from the big city to take care of my mother and granny. I'm 41. I'm the only child male and take pride to take care of them eventually. I hope I find a woman that will appreciate. Hey man, Jason, it sounds like you got a great situation, man. Time travel, thank you, man. This is Dennis that bought your shirt. I changed my name of an OG on your channel. Of course, Dennis and my neighbors are back at it, shouting like crazy. How much noise can two people make? Crazy. Thank you, Dennis. Of course, I remember you, man. I remember you in Canada, buddy. You got my shirt still. That's awesome. Americans don't take appreciation of their family as much these days. Well, I don't know. I think I do not know, except the Hispanics. I don't know, man. I think there's still people out there that also care about their family. I think it's an individual thing. You can't really, like, you can't say all Americans. I think that's a bit broad. Oh my God, almost 1 hour in. How do average Europeans view this World Cup? Are they excited about matches or very negative about it? They're excited about it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they like the football. I know there's been a lot of outrage and stuff, but the news cycle is so quick that dies down quick, and then it's just like on to the next day. I think it was a different video, might have been a different sweater, same color. Oh, okay. By the way, guys, I'm still taking on new clients. This is my email. If you're trying to get in touch with me to hire me as your coach, as your mentor, send me an email. Still have available slots. Are you a big World Cup fan? Yeah, I've been watching a lot of games. I already watched a game today, actually. When should you stop listening to controlling parents? Immediately. Immediately. And understand that you're better off breaking the relationship now than later. The sooner you do it and you go your own way, the better. Yeah, nature lover, that's the video. That is the video. All right, guys, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm gonna check out 1 hour in. I'm tired. Thank you all for being here. One more time, if you want to hire me, this is my email, lorenzdeltries@gmail.com. Hit me up if you're trying to switch things up. If you're trying to reset your life, reinvent your reality, I can help you with that. Um, yeah, Giannis, go talk to your father, man. Reconnect. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you, buddy. I appreciate all of you. Dennis, I see you. Nature Lover, I see you. Thank you all. Surya, I see you, buddy. Thank you so much. All of you guys. Giannis, Laura, thank you. I'll be back soon. Have a beautiful day.